Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. This time it's just straight up me on the face cam. And today we're going to be talking about the controversy that is Cristiano Ronaldo and the sponsor of Pepsi, or Coca-Cola actually, it's not Pepsi. The thing is with the controversy is that one day before Hungary and Portugal met, I think it was the day before, Ronaldo was at a press conference and they, have the bottles of, Heineken and Coca-Cola surrounding the table, right? The press conference table, for, of course, uh, sponsorship reasons. And Cristiano Ronaldo decided to, for whatever reason, move these Coca-Cola bottles and then, said water. And it just started a huge storm of things. It was trending on Twitter and all this. And then apparently, maybe a trend started here. Paul Pogba the next day here moved the bottle of Heineken, though many people, I guess, said that the reason behind that was he's Muslim and so he doesn't want to associate himself with alcohol, even though it was 0% alcohol, I guess, because it's still an alcohol company and an alcoholic beverage. That he decided that was best for him, and that makes sense then if that's the case. But people are kind of wondering what was the reason why Ronaldo did this. I mean, when you think about it, why would Ronaldo do that? To promote the message that water is good and soda is bad? I mean, we don't really need Ronaldo telling us that water is good and soda is bad. I mean, we have studies. We know that water is good for you and soda is not that good. I don't know what the reason is. Nobody really knows why that was. But then Locatelli later, he also did it too. He moved the Coca-Cola bottles here, and he didn't like pick them up and like put them below the table and then pick up water like Ronaldo did. But he did move them out of frame, so when they were watching, when they were at the press conference, and you're focusing on him, you can't see the Coca-Cola bottles. Very interesting. And then the Russian coach, he had a little fun with it too, because he decided um, that he was going to use one of the Coca-Cola bottles to open the other one and then drink it. And yeah, there's this huge kind of controversy behind it because not only are players like Pogba, Ronaldo, and Locatelli doing things like this, but Coca-Cola apparently has lost $4 billion in shares due to this incident. And of course, Coca-Cola is not happy with this. I mean, I know they're worth over $200 billion, but losing $4 billion, that's quite a lot just for Ronaldo picking up two bottles and saying water. I mean, what gives? The reason why he did this is still unknown, like I said. But of course, Coca-Cola is frustrated and upset with this here. And now the question is, what is next for like these sponsors and the players that are involved with all of this here? Because there's really no reason to me why Ronaldo did what he did. If he's trying to promote the message, do it in a different way, really. Because as a player, the sponsors are there and you're getting money from it. And even if you're not getting money for it, you should just somewhat respect the sponsors if your reasoning is to promote water. Um, but that can't be it. Let's be honest. Why would Cristiano Ronaldo, on the biggest stage of them all, or at least one of the biggest stages of them all, cost a company $4 billion just to say water? What would he gain from that? What would be his benefit? I really don't see any benefit from that, other than he could promote water. But costing a company $4 billion, there's got to be some alternative motives. You know, some rumors I've been hearing is that Coca-Cola has ties with Israel, of course, and he's for like protesting Coca-Cola for their ties with Israel. He's doing this as some like speech movement, like some freedom of speech of saying, we don't stand with Israel, so we don't stand with Coca-Cola. That could be a reason. We know why. Or at least one of the reasons I said earlier for the Pogba incident was because he's Muslim. He doesn't want to associate himself with any of these alcoholic beverages, which would make sense, of course. Pogba, Muslim, they don't want to drink, so of course that makes sense if it's a religious reason. But we have yet to find out why Ronaldo did it. Was it because he wants to promote water, or is it this Israeli reason here, this motivation of promoting, I guess, not, promoting Palestine or whatever? The reasons unknown, and of course, this how does this affect the sponsors? That's another um, question here because we don't know how it affects. We know one way is the money, of course. Coca-Cola lost $4 billion. But so how will this affect sponsors in future tournaments, or actually just within this tournament itself? Will they stop sponsoring since players are doing this more and more now? I mean, how did this trend even start? Ronaldo just does it out of the blue, and now multiple players are doing it. Multiple players are talking about it. I mean, the whole community of soccer is talking about this moment, and I just don't understand how this even happened or why it even happened. So the question is now, well, there's multiple questions. Why did Ronaldo do it? And the second question is, how will the sponsors respond to these actions of the players? Are they going to kind of force UEFA to do something against these players, or are they going to just kind of let it stand by and see what happens later? I really don't know. And another question is, will Coca-Cola even be willing to sponsor UEFA in any way in the next, like after this tournament? Because $4 billion is a lot. You always want to make profit. I don't care if you're one of the richest people on earth. You always want to make a profit. You don't want to go into these tournaments sponsoring these people, sponsoring these teams and players and this whole thing to lose $4 billion. You don't want to do that. That is just a bad business idea if that's what you're going into this for. So I don't know what is going to happen next. It doesn't seem like anything happened with the Heineken thing. Nobody talked about that too much. Pogba did it. It happened. It ended. But the Ronaldo thing is still having a lot of lasting effects of $4 billion being lost. So the question is, how is Coca-Cola going to respond, and how are the players going to respond? Are they going to continue doing this, or are they just going to just kind of let it die off? It's very interesting to me to see that one player can cost a company of $4 billion. I mean, that's unheard of to me. That's unbelievable. For me, my predictions, I honestly believe that that Portugal, that Coca-Cola most likely is going to tell UEFA, hey, tell these players to stop doing this, or they're just not going to really be willing to sponsor anymore. And of course, UEFA's not going to like that. But Coca-Cola really has no choice. I mean, they're either going to tell UEFA, don't tell your players to stop doing this, or they're going to have to tell UEFA that they're no longer going to sponsor this tournament anymore, or any UEFA events in the near future. You don't go into these losing $4 billion. You want to make money off of these things, not lose money. So I think Portugal's Ronaldo has forced Coca-Cola in a situation where they're either going to have to leave the sponsorship, just kind of leave it, or they're going to have to withdraw from it, or tell UEFA to tell your players to stop ruining the sponsorships, because $4 billion is a lot of money, and well, Coca-Cola is not willing to lose that much money over one incident. And like I said, holding up 2 bottles of Coca-Cola and then moving them to the side or putting them under a table costs you $4 billion. There's a big problem there. So of course Coca-Cola is going to have to respond, have to make some actions. It's still the talk of the town for some reason. I was going to make this video earlier, but I couldn't get time to do it, and now I do, and I just can't believe that $4 billion has been lost. But anyways, that's all I have on this topic. I'll make some updates if there's anything happening. Anyways, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a good one.